The second chapter of the Men in Black saga begins with an episode that kids might think is a new YouTube channel, where a guy tells us the plot of a movie, like one of those stories that never happened from one of the files that don't exist. This intriguing video might answer that overwhelming question. The grandpa tells us that the Zarthans brought the light of Zartha to Earth to hide it from a Kylothian named Serlina, an alien who has the power to transform into a dangerous plant. Serlina arrives with the Men in Black and gets captured, but she escapes and goes after Princess Lorana, who knows where the light of Zartha is. So basically, the Men in Black didn't do anything important to save the world in this scene. But let's keep going. Suddenly, we see the vastness of space as Serlina's ship searches for the light of Zartha on different planets. Well, more like destroying them one by one, as if they were Pac-Man pellets. Now imagine if she reaches Earth. Oh wait, she does reach Earth, but realizes that here she's as small as a dog toy. She comes across a Victoria's Secret magazine and changes her form to a sexy girl with a dead face. It's as if Poison Ivy joined the Victoria's Secret fashion show. A man sees her and starts harassing her, of course, because there had to be some realism in this movie. But don't worry about her, she devours the harasser like a snake or a Komodo dragon. Serlina is so satisfied with such a feast, but her figure is no longer that of a model, so she decides to deposit her organic waste behind a bush to avoid suspicion. On the other side of the city, Jay and his new partner T arrive to talk with Jeff, one of the aliens hiding in New York. He's actually a giant worm that tosses Jay into the air, and some fruits break his fall. Jay survives without breaking any bones from Jeff's attack and decides to go after him, passing through the subway tunnel with regular people waiting. Jeff makes an appearance in one of the cars while Jay warns everyone for their safety to move to another car because there's a monster that can kill them. Of course, no one believes him until Jeff with his little teeth tears through half the car.
Now y'all running.
Finally, Jay stops Jeff and gathers the people who saw everything to erase their memories with the neuralizer for the sake of the continuity of humanity's mental health.
Okay.
Then he goes back to T to offer him some pie and tea and have a chat. Nice, right? What a good coworker. But the truth is that T knows the real reason they're there and feels bad about it. T accuses Jay of planning to neuralize him, realizing he was taken to a public place to avoid a scene. Oh, I get you, T. My ex-girlfriend did the same to me. Jay explains that being a man in black is a lonely job with no heroes. This upsets T even more, and with a flash, Jay wipes his memory and suggests something simpler, telling him to get married and have lots of kids. After that scene, we see our funniest villain, Scrad, an alien who seems normal until you see another head named Charlie with an extremely long neck coming out of his backpack. Serlina arrives and threatens him, or them, by shoving her plant-like limbs up his nose to get information because he knows someone who knows where the light of Zartha is. A few streets away, in a pizzeria, a girl named Laura is doing her work like any other workday, but ends up witnessing her boss being murdered by Serlina. Jay is assigned to her case with a new partner, Frank, the pug. Because of course, when you think of reliable work partners, the first thing that comes to mind is a dog who talks with a New York accent.
I'll be his partner.
Everyone liked him in the first movie, and why not? Just look how cute he looks in his little black suit. Jay arrives at the scene and questions Laura, who tells him how she saw Serlina killing her boss. They seem to have some chemistry just from exchanging a few lines, and out of nowhere, Jay reveals that he's a man in black. After saying the necessary things, he decides to follow protocol and neuralize her to let her continue her life without problems. But in the end, he has a change of heart and doesn't do it. Love had been born.
Oh my God!
But then Jay gets a call saying they need more information. But only one person on Earth has it. And that person is none other than Agent K, the legend from the first movie. It turns out that K works in Truro, Massachusetts, in a post office full of aliens. Jay finds out that his real name is Kevin, but he doesn't look like what you'd imagine a Kevin to look like. Jay then tries to convince him of his past, the whole Men in Black and aliens deal. Since K doesn't believe him, who would believe that right away? Jay subtly shows K that his co-workers are friendly aliens by doing a bit of beatboxing. It seems that the rap skills of the Fresh Prince finally have a practical use in the MIB universe. And it works, because this makes everyone remove their wigs and reveal their true alien identities. After that scene, Jay makes Kay reflect and subtly points out the consequences of his way of thinking, to which Kay responds with a punch to the nose. But Kay is intrigued and finally agrees. Oh, and he also meets Frank but isn't shocked by a talking dog. After that, he takes Kay to the Men in Black headquarters, where everyone greets them with reverence because Kay was the most respected agent in the history of the Men in Black. We also get a cameo of Michael Jackson as an alien on Earth, and Frank is dismissed as Jay's partner. Poor dog. Jay gives Kay a tour of the facilities to help him get acquainted. Kay almost causes chaos with a tiny population inside a sphere, and Jay warns him to keep his hands to himself. He gets his distinctive black suit and is ready for action. Wait, but how are they going to restore Kay's memory? Oh, simple. With the deneuralizer. That's pretty convenient. The headquarters now looks like a shopping mall with so many sponsors. But hey, they needed to fund this somehow.
Here comes the money. Money, money, money.
There are many aliens waiting their turn to register their entry to Earth as per the protocol, but what they don't expect is that Serlina is also in the headquarters, along with her two big allies, Scrad and Charlie. She seduces an agent with her attributes and beautiful Victoria's Secret lingerie. After seeing Serlina showing her breasts, Scrad has a heart attack, but luckily his other head is there trying to perform mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Meanwhile, Serlina takes advantage of the distraction and starts attacking the entire headquarters. At that moment, the alarm goes off, just before Kay can use the deneuralizer. So the evacuation system of the headquarters is activated and, like a toilet, ends up launching Jay and Kay right into the middle of Times Square because, the Men in Black are an ultra-secret organization, so nothing screams secret more than appearing out of nowhere in the busiest parts of New York where everyone can see them. Jay and Kay are on their way to the base where Frank is trapped with Serlina, but conveniently, Kay finds half of a photo that was conveniently in his suit. So they decide to change course to visit an old friend, Jack Jeebs, the alien arms dealer who always has everything they need listed on eBay. The agents ask him to hand over the deneuralizer, only under the subtle threat of blowing his head off. Meanwhile, at the Men in Black headquarters, Serlina is recruiting some extra help to reach the light of Zartha. But the thing is, only Kay knows where it is, so what she wants is to have Kay brought to her and interrogate him herself. In the basement of Jack Jeebs' shop, Kay is strapped to a pretty shoddy machine that would surprise anyone if it works to restore his memory, or turns him into Frankenstein. After getting it running with the motor from a boat, what ends up happening is that the machine drains all the electricity in the block, but fails to restore Kay's memory, so he leaves feeling disappointed and questioning his existence. But while Jack Jeebs is lamenting and apologizing to Jay, Serlina's goons break through the wall searching for Kay and start wrecking everything. Now it's all of them against Jay, and Scrad tells him that Serlina wants Kay, and if he doesn't hand him over, he'll get a serious beating. When Jay doesn't say anything, Scrad orders one of the ex-cons to bend Jay. So, the guy lifts him up and, by some twist of fate, and after a dramatic moment where he realizes everything around him, Kay remembers who he is just in time to save his old partner. The master stroke? A kick to the balls of the throat of one of the aliens? Oh, this is cinema. But even though Kay has regained his memory, he still doesn't remember anything about the light of Zartha, which he assumes he erased from his own memory for protection. Maybe I should have done that instead of a month of drinking to forget my ex. Meanwhile, at the base, Serlina tries to convince Z to hand over the light, but Z stands firm in his decision and decides to fight her. But this woman is strangely strong, and she doesn't even get a scratch. Instead, she knocks him out with a kick. Now, agents J and K head to the restaurant to find Laura, where they discover a clue K had left in case he was neuralized. They see that the half of the photo he had in his suit matches the one in the pizzeria's frame. After a while of J thinking he's the master of solving mysteries and puzzles, K takes a key that was just hanging there, and to keep Laura safe, takes her to a secure location where we find these relaxed worms, and Laura will stay with them for now. J and K then reach the key's locker and find a small civilization inside, which provides them with the next clue, a card that leads them to a video store. At the store, a strange girl and Newton show the agents the episode we saw at the beginning of the movie, and Kay starts to remember everything in detail. It turns out that Princess Lorana was killed by Serlina in that encounter, and that she was Kay's girlfriend at the time, so he decided to hide the light here on Earth to keep it away from Serlina for a few years. After hiding the light, a grief-stricken Kay neuralized himself to bury his sadness and make sure he wouldn't accidentally reveal its location. Kay still cannot remember where he hid it or what the light looks like, but the scenes show a peculiar bracelet that they remember seeing before on Laura. Anyway, with all this information, they neuralize the guys and head off to find Laura. But back at the Worm's apartment, they discover that Serlina has kidnapped the woman. At the Men in Black headquarters, Serlina forms an alliance with this guy named Jara and promises to hand over Jay if he builds her a spaceship so she can escape the planet. Meanwhile, Jay and Kay are gearing up to the teeth. They head to Kay's old house, where a family is peacefully watching TV until the agents show up and reveal a room full of weapons that even John Wick would envy. They take what they need and leave after neuralizing the family, so they can continue watching their show in peace. When they arrive at the headquarters, Kay is captured by the flying spaghetti monster, and Jay goes to rescue Laura, who is now trapped there. Jay and Jara end up fighting for a while, but as expected, Jay defeats the galactic Rasputin just in time. Jay manages to save Kay by blowing Serlina into 1,000,000 pieces. And oh, the worms are somewhere else doing nothing. And when they do show up, it's for a joke where they accidentally turn everything off. Jay and Kay follow Laura's bracelet to find the light, but oh, it turns out someone didn't die after being disintegrated.
We are screwed.
And they end up in a citywide chase, neuralizing everyone. They trick Serlina by heading into the subway and having Jeff, remember, the giant worm living under New York, swallow her.
Oops.
With Serlina out of the way, they can now head calmly towards the light of Zartha, which turns out to be, drumroll please, Laura, daughter of Princess Lorana, and if you do the math, you'll realize she's also Kay's daughter. At this point, the giant worm reappears, but it's no longer Jeff. Serlina has killed him from the inside and taken his form. Jay goes to fight her, while Kay escorts Laura to a kind of flying egg so she can escape. Jay and Kay disintegrate the worm, which explodes in the sky, forming the Men in Black logo for some reason. And everything goes back to normal for a moment. But after everything that happened, there must be someone in the city who saw it all, right? Well, no. With the help of the Statue of Liberty, they end up neuralizing the entire city. Kay, Frank, and Z try to comfort and cheer up Jay because, after all, he had fallen in love with Laura and had to let go of the girl of his dreams. Hey, don't say that love at first sight doesn't exist. Jay then finds the tiny locker-dwelling aliens in his locker, which Kay moved there to give him some perspective that there are beings worse off than he is. When Jay suggests showing the miniature creatures that their universe is bigger than a locker, Kay opens a door, and the movie ends by revealing that the human universe is just a locker inside a massive alien train station. And that was Men in Black 2, the sequel nobody asked for, but everyone secretly wanted to see. If you enjoyed this recap and want to see more of your favorite movies, give us a like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of the upcoming videos. See you next time.